Let's solve multiply strings problem from LeetCode. So this problem says we have strings given and we need to multiply this. So 2 and 3, that's a string. But 2 and 3 we are not allowed to use any library to convert this string to int and then multiply. We have strings and then we need to multiply this to a string and we have to make 6. So we may be thinking where can be the use case. So one of the use cases is if the number is very big, uh, maybe 100 digit number, it's very difficult to store in any type. So that's why we need to know the different way to multiply this number. So that's one of the use case, and let's try to solve this problem. So we have a number and that's in a string format, and then we have another number that's in a string format, and we need to multiply this. So the way I'm going to multiply is what I do is first I will reverse this number. I'll reverse this number. So that is the strategy I'm going to use. So I reverse this number and reverse this also and take one number from here and multiply this one, take another number, multiply this one. So that means, like, let's say once I reverse, then 3 comes here. Then from the 3, I will multiply all this. Again, I will take 2, multiply all this, and I will take 1 and multiply all this. If there is a carry, I will store that carry in a variable, and that's algorithm I'm going to use. And once I have the result, then I will also uh, reverse the result to get the original answer. And if there is a 0 at the end, I'll remove that 0. So let's see this, how I'm doing. So first of all, I'll check if the num1 and num2, if any one of is 0, then 0 in multiply by other number, that will be 0. So in that case, I can return 0. So that's a corner case I can handle. If num1 equal to 0 or num2 equal to 0, then return 0. In other case, I'm going to define one variable called result. It's an int, and the size will be this length of num1 and num2. So num1 plus num2, that's the result. And then so that's a result where we'll store the result, and then we'll reverse this number. So in order to reverse the number, we need a function. Let's develop a function, reverse str string, and here in a Golang, this string, I need to convert this in a byte array or run e. So yeah, run e, we can use the run e also for Unicode support, but for now I'm just using bytecode. So I'll just say b byte str, I 0 and j is equal to length of b minus 1 for I less than j. It's a bi comma bj bj bi I plus plus j minus 1. So that is the way I can reverse this, and once it's reversed in a bytes, then I can return the string format of this b. So that's the reverse, and let's call this function here, reverse num1 I can store the result in a num1, and same thing, num2, reverse num2. Okay, so we have already reversed the number. We have the variable to store the result. Let's use the for loop. So for I is equal to 0, I less than num1, I plus plus, for j0, j less than length num2, j plus plus. Okay, and here in this way we have the I, and we are running the this j internally here. So the internal for loop, that means once we reverse this num1, we'll take one number, that is I, and then we'll take all the numbers internally for the num2. So from the first string, we'll take the first number and multiply with all this number of the second string, and then we'll take I plus plus will happen, and we'll take the second number and then multiply. So that's what exactly how I explain, and we store the result, and we always store the result based on this I. So I'll just introduce one variable I here, and for the carry I can just say C is equal to 0 in the beginning, carry will be 0. Okay, now I will calculate sum first. So sum, I'll say I have to multiply this, so that is num1. So num1 I 0, I will convert this to int. So from the string I'll get each number, and that I'll convert to the int. Multiply by, again the same way, num2 j and minus 0, and I have to convert this to the int. So I'm multiplying this, plus if there is any carry, I will add that also. If any value on this, on the block itself, I have to add, because when I get the result, I'll keep putting on this result. So result start, we'll get that, and then we'll do the start plus plus, and once we get the sum, we have to store the sum. So in a sum, like when we get the remainder, so that's the result. Like if there is a 18, and 18 divided by 10, if it will do the 18 divided by 10, so 8 will be the result, and 1 will be carry. So we want to store those things. So sum divided by 10, and that will be the result. We'll put in the result start. So we'll move this start below, and the carry C, so sum divided by 10. So here we'll store the carry. So that's all, and C is already defined. Okay, so and here we can check if carry greater than, if there is something in a carry, we can store in a result. So result is start. So that's the logic. In this way we'll get our result, and once we get the result, we need to, yeah, first print the result, and we'll see what's happening. Result is equal to result, and here for now it's going to fail, but just return something, or whatever in the result. I'll put that in a variable called product. Product on a string, and run the loop. That's the result. We got the result, and we want to get the value from reverse order. So for I equal to length of result minus 1, I greater than equal to 0, I minus minus. We'll put that in a product. Percentage d result I. Let's see what this returning. Return product. Run this. Num1 reverse number, no value used as a value. So we are not returning in a product. Yeah, we just need to return here. Yes, let's run again. Line 24. Result start equal to C. Wrong answer, that's fine. Because we 2 into 3 and we got 6, and in the beginning there is 0 and we do not need this 0, so that's why that's showing the wrong result. So let's remove the 0 from the beginning. So when we store the result in a product here, then we'll check if there is a 0 in the beginning. So from the last of the string we are getting the value one by one and storing in a product, and in the last if there is a 0 we'll get rid of the 0. So for that I introduce one variable is 0 in beginning, 0 0 at last, or at last, and I'll say that true, and I'll compare if each 0 at last, and also I will say I'll check that if result I, so that's a fmts printf, that's I just convert to the string this I equal to 0. So in this case I'll just continue, else if it is not 0 then I will say that okay, this is false, false, and that's all. Let's run it. Accept it and submit this. Yeah, accept it. Yeah, so that's all. You can, so that's the whole solution. And here is a remaining portion, and at the end there is a reverse function. Let's see the Java solutions also. So I put the same logic. Variable name is different, but logic is same. So that's all for now. Thank you.